All right, today I'm going to do a review of, it's kind of going to be a couple of individuals, but all rolled into one, really. But my impetus for this review is this individual here. His name is David Earl Warden. He goes by the channel name on YouTube of News Now Houston. And it was this particular video here that he's entitled Furry Potato Broke Her Head that motivated me to make this video. I really wasn't going to ever give this guy any channel time, any of my attention at all. But you know what? He is a slime ball and needs to be called out by somebody. And, I've got nothing to lose, so I'm going to call him out. All right, so my top four right now, most shadiest, disgustingest auditors, frauditors. This guy's number 4 on the list, right? He's not number 1, but he's number 4. But he's in cahoots with the other 3 guys, right? So my top list goes Josh Abrams, accountability for all. That guy's slimy. Then underneath him is PayPal Patty, right? Patrick Roth, a.k.a. News Now Patrick, a.k.a. Bobby Hill. And then under him is a guy that goes by the name Extra Good Citizen. And the only reason Extra Good Citizen isn't number 1 is because he just hadn't really been around long enough. He's really not even been part of the auditing community long enough for him to be for him to have earned his stripes in any other way other than just being hated right now. So the whole deal is, and this is a long story, and if you're following this, you probably already know the story, but if you don't, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the Cliff Notes versions of it, right? So there's another auditor who goes by the name of Otto the Watchdog. His name's Winston Knowles. He got arrested. He had a pretty high bail that he couldn't, that nobody could meet. And a nice lady who follows First Amendment auditing, as do many of us, decided that she was going to donate to help get Otto out of jail. Right? So she donated the sum of about $7,300 to be applied towards Otto the Watchdog's bail. And she donated it to this guy, Extra Good Citizen, who volunteered, who stepped up and said, yeah, okay, I'll be the guy. I'm going to go get him out. I'll get a bail bondsman for him. I'll make it happen, right? So he got the money. He goes and he gets a bail bondsman, and the bail bondsman then revokes the bond and says, we can't get him out. We're not going to get him out or whatever. Here's your money back, right? And Otto subsequently got out through some other means. I'm not really exactly 100% sure that happened, but the money got refunded back to Extra Good Citizen. Not all of it. There were PayPal fees, and there was some other transaction fees I'm sure that the bail bondsman kept, but it was somewhere around the neighborhood of $6,900. Right? Most of the money got refunded to him in the form of a handwritten check, supposedly, quote unquote. Now, keep in mind, all this information is third, fourth hand. Nobody's seen any evidence of this stuff. The lady was in the neighborhood at the time. Extra Good Citizen supposedly, tried to give her this handwritten check. Her bank supposedly wouldn't take it for whatever reason. I've never heard of that. Generally your bank will take a check from you. It doesn't matter what it looks like or what it is. They may hold on to the funds until the check clears, but evidently it was a perfectly good check. So there's no reason why they shouldn't have been able to take it. But for whatever reason, she didn't get the money during that particular time. He kept the money, right? He deposited it into his account, and later on, there was evidently some discussions. Blind Justice had some issues out in North Carolina. This guy took a large portion of the money, about to the tune of about half of it, and decided that he was going to organize a trip out for some some auditors, one of them being Josh Abrams with Accountability for All, one of them being himself, and one of them being News Now Patrick, PayPal Patty, right? And so they all chartered flights and hotel rooms and rental cars and all of this kind of stuff and food and entertainment expenses and so on, and flew out to North Carolina to meet up with Blind Justice on this lady's dime, right? And at some point she said, "Hey, I'd rather have my money back." But they said, "Well, we've already spent, half the money, so you're not getting it back." And so she got upset about that, but she said, "Well, send me the receipts, send me the rest of the money back." And then this guy, extra good citizen, decided that, no, he's not going to send the money back. He's not going to give this lady back any of her money at all, right? Because evidently she, maybe in her anger or whatever, said she threatened to sue him, or who knows what was said specifically. But if you want to meet this lady and you want to hear what she has to say, you can go over to News Now South Carolina's YouTube page, and there's an interview that he did with her, and it shows most of the details. And let me tell you something, if News Now South Carolina says it, I believe that guy's legitimate. I believe he's on the up and up. I don't agree with his auditing tactics all the time, but in general, he's a good guy. He's from South Carolina. I live in South Carolina. I consider him a trustworthy individual. He's never done anything that I would consider to be shady. And I've never even seen him solicit PayPal donations or e-bag or anything like that. Now, he may do that, but he doesn't do it on the scale that these other cats do. Right? And so that leads us to this guy here, David Earl Warden, News Now Houston. Now, this guy has all of their backs. He has extra good citizens back. He has PayPal Patty's back. Him and PayPal Patty are joined at the hip, man. They are peas in a pod, right? They're like peas and carrots. PayPal Patty is David Earl Warden's News Now Houston's Padawan learner. Right? That's really what it is. So David Earl Warden goes way back. He's been in the auditing community for many years. He was one of the guys that I saw back in the day when I was monitoring the Photography is Not a Crime forums and that website that was run by what's his face out of Miami, right? I forget the guy's name, right? But at the time, and so David Earl Warden's had some good content. He's had a few good videos here and there, but he's a shady dude. And if you go back and you look into his history, there's a lot of shady stuff, and I'm not going to get into it, but this dude's got felonies on his record that would make anybody cringe if their children were around him, if their daughters were around him, if their wives were around him. You should be concerned, right? That's all I'm saying. You can go back and figure that stuff out on your own. But then, excuse me, I got the corona. But then this guy made this video today, and he did some things. He said some things in it that so the whole title of the video is Furry Potato Broke Her Head. Furry Potato's another auditor that made some disparaging comments about News Now Houston propping up this thief, extra good citizen, right? And so News Now Houston hadn't formally propped the guy up. He had thumbs up some comments that the guy had made or whatever at some point. But this video was complete and total him coming out saying, yeah, I back extra good citizen up. Extra good citizen didn't do anything but steal that lady's money. He's a thief, plain and simple, easy, cut and paste, cut and dried, simple. That guy's a thief. And David Earl Warden's like, oh, I saw the evidence and I see the proof and all this stuff. And so he comes out of the gate saying, slandering this lady who donated $7,400 of her money to help this community out, help Otto the Watchdog out, help Winston Knowles get out of jail, right? This woman, for her thanks, she gets called a a auditing groupie, whatever the hell that is. That just goes to show you. Look at this freaking guy. Look at the bags under this guy's eyes. I mean, does he look like he has any groupies? Look at that smarmy freaking face and those, that freaking gay ass beard that he's got and the gray hair. He thinks that he has groupies, right? I mean, whatever you think, dude, you're you're not that fucking, you're not the shit, dude. You're just some dude who happened to have a couple of good videos and somehow managed to make a following. But he's got issues, right? He's got cases against him pending right now for like molesting his own children and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that's going on with this guy. He's not to be trusted, right? So for this lady's for her kindness, this guy called her a groupie, right? Tried to discount her as as being a groupie, and said that her donation was her money that she donated to be earmarked for Winston Knowles was earmarked as a quote unquote donation, and therefore she's not entitled to get it back, even though it wasn't used for what she intended it to be used for, right? That's basically this guy's argument, that she's a groupie and that since she donated money, you don't deserve to get it back. And it's just like, those commercials with Sally Struthers or whoever, where they're like, oh, don't you want to feed the animals? Or, all the different commercials that you see on TV at night where they're soliciting donations and stuff like that. What's the difference between PayPal Patty soliciting his donations in those commercials? Well, here's the deal. If I decide to donate to Wounded Warrior Project, then I expect my money to be used for Wounded Warriors, right? If I donate my money to, the Animal Rights Foundation or whatever, I expect my money to be used for animal rights, help. If I donate my money to the starving kids of Africa, then I expect my money to be used for the starving kids of Africa. And if she donates her money to help get Winston Knowles out of jail, then her money should be used to get Winston Knowles out of jail, not to fly PayPal Patty out to North Carolina so that he can run his shtick out there, because nobody really cares. That's the difference. I have no problem with PayPal Patty or David Earl Warden or Josh Abrams or the extra good citizen. I don't even remember that guy's name, John Gray or some such. I don't have any problem with those guys, snaking people out of their money, faking them, tricking them, whatever you want to call it, out of their hard-earned cash. If you're stupid enough to send your money to them, so be it. But this is just wrong, dude. It's just wrong. It's immoral and it's wrong. That lady should get her money back. She should get every penny of her money back. And if the guy can't afford to give her money back, and they're like, he's John Gray, extra good citizen, he has a big job, man. He makes lots of money. He's a big wig, this and that. You don't need to steal money from me. Then give her fucking money back, you crooked motherfuckers. Give her fucking money back. Dude, I would beat your fucking... Dude, give her money back. Crooked, man. You're crooked. And so Furry Potato, who is another individual that I don't really like her tactics all that much. She does a lot of questionable stuff, right? But in general, she's a good person. In general, when you hear her talk, she talks about her life, this and that and the other. In this case, she's on the right side of things. She's like, this woman should get her donations back, and these guys are backing up crooks. And so David Earl Warden here comes out of the closet swinging, right? And he's got a following. He's got a bit of a following, but in general, the cards are somewhat stacked against him. If you look at the comments on this video, they're not really all that good. He don't have a lot of people on his side, in his corner on this, right? And so here's what I would say, rational people who follow this movement should behave rationally. We should all band together and throw some of these nasty, despicable idiots out. We should isolate them. Right? David Earl Warden is definitely one of those guys that needs to be isolated. Cal Patrick is definitely one of those, and they are being isolated. I mean, I don't think very many people are donating to PayPal, honestly, and I don't think David Earl Warden's getting that much donation. His channel's been demonetized and so on. Sorry about that. One of the things that really ticked me off and that spurred me to make this video is this guy David Earl Warden. In this video, one of the people that he attacked was a channel that goes by the name San Joaquin Valley Transparency. Now, if you follow this movement at all, you watch San Joaquin Valley Transparency, that guy, he sometimes slips up and he sometimes gets into a little mouthy with some of the people. He feels bad about it. He tries to lift people up. He's above board, man. He's a good guy. His content is good. He's in it for the right reasons, I believe. I believe that guy is in it for the right reasons. And this guy, David Earl Warden, called him like a paid government agent or paid government shill, something along those lines. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You are, dude, you're a joke, man. San Joaquin Valley Transparency is one of the more classier First Amendment auditors that I know of. He's on my top tier, dude. You're on my bottom tier. That's how things are. When I see you, when you see drama in this community, I can guarantee you there's a few names that are always going to be associated with that drama. And one of them is going to be David Earl Warden. Another one's going to be Josh Abrams. And another one's going to be PayPal Patty. Those guys are like the drama for your mama all day long, every day in this community. You'll see it happen more and more. And the ones who are above board, who really try to stay out of it, yet still get hit by the shrapnel and the flak of it, guys like, James Freeman, Johnny Five-O, and San Joaquin Valley Transparency, Furry Potato, sticks to herself for the most part, doesn't, again, don't necessarily, maybe I'll do a video on Furry Potato at some point. But anyway, dude, yeah. I would say unsubscribe from these idiots, but I stay subscribed just for the entertainment purposes. I have ad blockers again, so I don't donate any ad revenue to these guys. I would not donate a penny to any of those four people. Josh Abrams, Accountability for All, David Earl Warden, News Now Houston, PayPal Patrick Roth, News Now Patty, and this guy, Extra Good Citizen Boy. He's taking it hard right now. He's, I don't know of anything that he's done other than, I think he got arrested down in Texas for the part of the rock wall chalking incident or something like that. But other than that, that guy hadn't done anything, dude. And just yesterday, PayPal Patty, for that incident where he was, arrested for chalking, he had some stranger post his bond for him. And the guy who posted the bond is revoking his bond, evidently. So that just tells you, man, it's drama with these four characters, at least those three characters, all day, every day. It's entertaining to watch, but don't give these guys any of your money. You're stupid if you do. You can if you want, but I don't know why you would, man. Just do a little research on this guy right here, a little research on his history. I'm sure that the people that like this guy here are people who have a history themselves, right? We're talking about felons. We're talking about shady people, anarchists, cop haters. These are people who don't have any money to donate anyway, right? They're not people who get up every day, responsible people who have jobs, who go to work, right? This guy's got quite a following though. So he, whatever, man. Just be aware. Be aware of who you're dealing with. Go do a little bit of research on this guy on your own. It's not hard. His name is David Earl Warden. You can type his name into Google, right? You can type it into YouTube, Facebook. You can see all kinds of information on this guy. Like, no kidding. Um, be aware, be aware. And the stuff that he's saying about, guys like San Joaquin Valley, Furry Potato, News Now, South Carolina. Yeah, he called News Now, South Carolina's interview with that lady bullshit, right? Quote unquote bullshit, right? Um, Yet he provided not a shred of proof, not a shred of evidence. He's like, oh, I've seen the proof, I've seen the evidence, and you guys are just going to have to believe me. It's bullshit. No, David, no, Earl, we don't believe you. You're a scumbag. And, dude, I can't wait for the day when it all collapses around you, dude. Karma is a bitch. And, I know you've had it happen to you plenty of times. It's probably going to happen to you sooner rather than later. You're not a bigwig. You got no groupies that follow you. Um, you know, I know of you, just from this circle, from watching you on YouTube. I'm a great judge of character, Earl, and you're not a good person, man. So yeah, that's my rant. Hope you enjoyed it. That was a little bit more than I wanted to take on for this, but this is a huge uh, issue that's going on, and I hope to be able to do some videos on guys that I actually like. Maybe I'll do something on San Joaquin. He's a good guy. All right, y'all take it easy. Have a good one.